are live. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 2 of Beachhead 2025. I'm joined by Trips. How are you doing this morning?
Very good. Alive and well.
It's very cool to be back for our very first 2-dayer, actually. So let's go to the overhead and we can kind of talk through what's going on. So day 2 of Beachhead, we're at the Bournemouth International Centre. And do you know what? How many dropouts do we have today?
We have two players who couldn't make it today, or one who couldn't make it yesterday, and one more for today.
That's phenomenal.
So we're doing very well. Everyone turned up.
Both of those were planned. One player messaged just way before the tournament said I'm not going to be able to come. And yesterday, Stevie came. I got to play all 3 games on the Saturday. We said I can't escape for the Sunday, which is totally cool. So we put Brush Tide in. So Brush Tide is our sub player today, and we might be able to see him in the far back.
Oh, he's on the second row now.
He's on the second row?
Yeah, just behind Stratford.
Just behind Stratford. Oh, there he is! That's right, we subbed in Ben, so he's running gnomes on the bottom table, but...
Yeah, he's currently bottom of the league with no points.
No points. And
guaranteed not to win anything today.
Now, one thing we do have is a very interesting matchup down, like you said, about Stratford, on table 1. So we had a very interesting few finishes yesterday, Trips, didn't we?
Yeah.
So give me a second and we'll brew up. Let's go this one. And then we'll bring up Swordplay. And click. There we go. So we can see our Swordplay results for... well, the rounds as they are. So top table, we've got...
Top table is Dark Elves and Goblins.
Got Goblins on the top table. Caron, I know it might be a bit early for you this side of the world, but dude, Goblins on table 1. So yeah, hell of a day yesterday for both these teams, both of them finishing 3-0. We had Dark Elves with Kaijin Chicken, absolutely crushing it yesterday. In fact, we have a look at the standings, it's probably a bit easier to demonstrate. Dark Elves scoring 114 points, so 3-0, also 3-0, Goblins. The difference there is the Dark Elves went and scored in 3 games, 12 touchdowns.
And only conceded 2 as well, so that touchdown differential is going to help as the day goes on.
I'll tell you what, let's be good about this. Let's check out the Dark Elf roster first. So 11 players, 2 rerolls, no Apo. Witch Elf, 1 with Block, 1 with Wrestle, 2 Blodge Blitzers, and a leader runner. Trips, this is like a super vanilla Dark Elf roster.
Yeah.
And at 1100, you don't have a bench. How do you feel about
that? So not having a bench, it could come back to haunt you potentially if you, as we know, table 1 has rolled sweltering heat for the weather today. So it'll be interesting to see how many Dark Elves make it to half time.
Yeah, sweltering heat can be brutal. It's brutal up in 11, in 7s, right? But for full 11s.
Full 11s, particularly when your opponent does have a bench.
Yeah, well, not only does the opponent have a bench, but they've got a whole host of damage-causing pieces. So 16 players for the Goblin team, and they've got the Pogo, the Fanatic, the Hooligan, the 2 Trolls, and a Looney. So no Bomber. Decided they didn't need the Bomber, but they've got Mighty Blow Fanatic, a Dodge Chainsaw, and a Sneaky Git Hooligan.
And look at that Pogo there with 4 touchdowns on day 1.
Yes, he's been on fire. In fact, these guys ended up playing one of the flex pitches in the corner, so it's easier for some players to sit at. And I swung past there, and in game 2, game 3, they were down to like 5 players total. And the bouncy Pogo guy just did a stretch play and got the touchdown, got the win. 6 TDs for Goblins, 1 against. So Goblins let in 1 touchdown all of yesterday. I don't know, that might actually be the best result defensively for touchdowns.
Yeah, we've got 4 coaches have only conceded 1 all day, 4 or 5.
Yeah, Blitzy, Tornado, Greenskin Phil running OP Amazons. That draw's going to hurt Phil, I think.
Yeah, but only 3 coaches yesterday went 3-0 all day, so...
Which is really cool, because normally we do a 3-day event and that's it. So you end up with tiebreakers being really brutal. It was quite funny, because last night we played some 7s and Nick was like, this was a regular event. Yeah. I would have won it today. Now I've got to play 2 more games to make sure, but... I don't know, winning a 5-game event, it's got it's got a little bit more meaning
Yeah,
to it. I'd say
the little
60%.
swing of a bad dice game is taken out of it. We've got, I think, down in about, I think, 11th in the table so far. Yeah, 11th is our first team that are carrying a loss. Interestingly, a Snotling team. So it's for all of those wondering whether you should play Stunties. We've got a few Stunties in the top end.
Talking about Stunties, over on table 2, we've got BB Nut, Ben Davey, who's running his Gnomes build against Undead with Gorilla. So Gorilla, let's have a look at his roster really quickly. What have we got? We've got 12 players, 2 mummies, 2 whites, 4 ghouls, 4 zombies, no skeletons, so going for the resilience there over any speedy, dodgy stuff. Rest of ghoul, block ghoul, guard on a blitzer, and 2 guard on the mummies. So
Lots of guard.
which is interesting, because when you have a look at the gnome team, it's probably my favourite roster of the weekend, just because this is just really new. So you've got Maple Highgrove, 2 trees, 2 beasts, the gnome roster, right, is standard. 14 players, including Maple, but it's got 2 extra guard gnomes and 2 guard trees with 2 blodge gnome beastmaster. So 6 guard and 3 trees. That's some serious ground control.
There's some real pound and ground there, and just that amount of guard is causing a lot of issues. And Maple has played well at the end of day 1. Maple really turned up.
Yeah, there was some talk yesterday about whether Maple's going to end up being a mega star. Skitter hasn't made it to the list yet.
No.
But that might be because there was no November FAQ. So let us know your thoughts on why there was no FAQ. Because the players here over the weekend are pretty confident the reason there's no FAQ is they think, well, Games Workshop didn't bother doing an FAQ because there's a new edition coming.
There's a box coming,
early this year before May. Because they're like, if it was after May, they would drop the November FAQ, but not the May FAQ. So they think it's going to be a Q on this year for New Blood Bowl, which is what the guys are saying.
Yeah.
Which I would love. Although, Trips, you did say earlier, like, we're starting the Better Championship next week. Not this week, next week. If they drop the new edition in the middle of the Better Championship, it's going to be we're going
to have some interesting rules dilemmas.
Interesting choices to make. So, Greenskin Phil is down on table 3. This will be the last table we talk about before we go back to just playing with the guys. This is the Amazon try-hard roster.
Yeah, we've got a couple of these.
Blocker with block, blocker with guard, blitzer with block, blitzer with wrestle, and a lineman with block. 13 players, 3 rerolls, and the apothecary. Phil said yesterday, Greenskin Phil said to me yesterday, it was like, Amazons are the best team in the game. You don't need much, and everything you just add, it just adds more resilience to the team so they can keep doing what they do best. Obviously, as a Skaven player, I think, I don't know if they're the best roster, but we've got like 3 of them in the top 10. So it's not bad. And then we've got Blitzy's roster here. 2 Bull Centaurs, both with block, 4 blockers with guard, 2 Flamesmiths, and 3 Hobgoblins with a sneaky stabber, 3 rerolls. You can get quite a lot of stuff here for Chorfs at 1100.
And it's interesting seeing the amount of guard heading towards the top tables. It being a 5-game tournament, we're seeing the teams play off against each other.
In guard we trust.
Yeah, but lots of guard does neutralise itself, so you end up playing with a lower TV. So it'll be interesting to see how those games go.
So as we go into this round, we have a look at the standings. We've got Dark Elves and Goblins on table 1, Gnomes and Undead on table 2, Chorfs, Amazon. Oh man, they've lost tackle this edition.
Yeah.
That would have been such a juicy matchup in the last one. Potentially that's going to not give a win to Amazon, it's not by a long shot. Blitz is playing really well this weekend. But having that lack of tackle just to be an automatic switch off allows Amazons to be a little bit more hungry in this edition. Table 4, Dwarf and Shore. Oh, really? Oh, is that down here? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So that'll be a high scoring game. It won't be. And then table 5, another Chore and Vampire.
Yeah, a 1 Vampire team. I started with a draw yesterday, but have turned out to be quite scory after that.
Oh, hang on. I think I've got this wrong. I don't know if the standings are rapidly representing the fixtures. It says Torplay being Torplay. It's Amazons and Chaos Dwarves with Greenskin Phil. Amazons and Dwarves.
Yeah.
That's not good for Torp Marder. So it's not Chorf versus Dwarf. It is Dwarf versus Amazons, and that's legit Dwarves. And Dalio has gone with a pretty reasonable lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tackle pieces, 4 guard, 2 mighty blow.
Yeah, that's going to be painful.
That's the tough gig on that one. I wonder why Torpe's shimmied stuff around. It could be me misreading.
Yeah.
And table 5, Chalk versus Vampire with Scarf Bag, which is very, very, very cool. Let's have a look at their roster. 2 throwers with Pro, 2 runners with Pro, and the Vargeist with Block. Vampires, again, another team that doesn't need a huge amount. So, yes, it's quite an interesting play for the tables so far, which is very, very cool to see, Trips.
Yeah.
Do you have any more thoughts before we wrap up and check in with chat?
I think I'm fascinated to see how many stunty teams are doing well. It's been really good. So
yeah, that's right. We looked at the top 5 tables, but you said Snotlings are sitting there at 11th place,
Yeah.
so just on the top row. We're not quite in the top. We've still got 2 games to play,
Yeah.
so.
And there's a lot to play for in basically, I mean, every category. Stunties up for the overall's definitely up. So yeah, it's going to be going right down to the line.
Gazatola in chat. Morning, guys. How's everyone heads? Do you know what? Nice to see you this morning, man. I think the guys are pretty sprightly
Yeah,
today.
there was a reasonable amount of sensibleness. I think 3 games of Blood Bowl and the 2 more to come meant there were a few needing a sleep.
Yeah, it's quite loud in here as well, as you can probably hear from the mics. We've got a lot of noise reduction on. I'm not sure it's doing a damn thing. Friday night was the night where I think most of the people went out for solid drinks. Saturday, I think you're right. I think they went out for a couple and then went to sleep.
Yes.
Even Blood Ties.
Even Blood Ties managed to not only get sleep, he managed to get home as well. So.
Yeah, which is very impressive for him. Garfield says, morning all. Wish I was there, but I was busy yesterday. Disgraceful. How dare you have a life. Justin Curtis, Kent is rooting for the chicken Dark Stars. Kent to come in, Sussex for Stratford. Alliteration for the win. Got that. That top table's brilliant. And Garfield says he's got an Irish shirt on, so he has my vote. Absolutely. See, this is why I'd love to do streams of the live games. I think it'd be interesting. But yeah. Anyway, we are going to wrap up. We're going to go have a chat with the guys. We'll check in round 5, and then we'll see if we can't do the trophy presentation on the stream as well. We'll see what we can do. We'll see you in a few hours, guys. Have a good morning. Trips, thanks for joining me.